at the Insulaco Arena at Marywood University. This is Marywood Pacers men's basketball. Tonight, the Pacers men take on the top seed in the CSAC right now, the Cabrini University Cavaliers. Hi everyone, I'm Brendan Murphy. A pleasure to be with you tonight. The Pacers snapped their losing skid last night. They beat Centenary University. James Curley actually had a double-double in that game, so he played very well. But really quickly, I want us to talk about Cabrini for a minute. Cabrini is the top team in the conference. They are playing very well. Taheem Monroe is the nation's leading rebounder. We'll get into him in a few minutes. But let's take a look at who's in the spotlight. And let's start with the Pacers, and we'll start with Jeremy Ringland. Ringland had 22 points in the first game against Cabrini, and he struggled so far for the second half of the season. He struggled for the second half of December, but he has started to turn it on a little bit. He's gotten a lot better, but he did injure his ankle in the loss to Immaculata. So he's a little hobbled. I spoke with him a couple of minutes ago. He said he's okay. He's good to go. He played in the Centenary game, but did get into a little bit of foul trouble. Also had 6 rebounds in the first Cabrini game. Let's also take a look at Tone Cockrell, who is a freshman who's been a little underrated, hasn't gotten many looks this year, but he had 8 points in the first Cabrini game in 25 minutes played. He's done a great job off the bench for the Pacers this year. On the other side for Cabrini, we will start with the nation's leading rebounder, Taheem Monroe. He leads the nation with just over 17 rebounds a game. And he also averages 23 points a game. He has 238 total rebounds this year, which is the next closest to 196. Just to put that into perspective for a minute. We'll also take a look at Keith Blasingel, the sophomore guard, averaging just shy of 19 points a game, and he's second on the team with 22 steals. Cabrini is 13-2 this year, 8-1 in the CSAC. They won the first meeting between these two teams, 93-66, last Thursday night. They also got some votes for the top 25, and they have a 7-game win streak going on right now. So this should be a very tough test for the Pacers, who will look to stay on track here in the CSAC standings. So we are just about set to go, so when we come back, we will have the starting lineups and the opening tap right here on TVM.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Insulaco Arena for today's Colonial States Athletic Conference men's basketball matchup between the Cavaliers of Cabrini University and your Marywood University Pacers. Before we begin, we ask you to please rise, if able, and remove your caps as we honor the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem. As always, we remind you that the NCAA Colonial States Athletic Conference and Marywood University promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives, as well as the public intoxication, the consumption or possession of alcohol beverages and tobacco products are grounds for removal from the site of competition and other disciplinary actions. Now let's introduce the starters. First for the visiting Cavaliers. Number 2, a freshman guard from Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey, Trey Smith. Number 5, a senior forward from Philadelphia, Tahim Monroe. Number 21, a sophomore guard from Philadelphia, Keith Blazingale.
And welcome back to the Insulaco Arena, and we are getting ready to hear the starting lineups, and here they are. So we will start with the Cabrini Cavaliers, and they are the top team in the CSAC, 13-2 overall, 8-1 in conference. So they start, it's Keith Blazingale, the 5'11", sophomore, number 21. Trey Smith, the 6-foot freshman, number 2. DJ Smith, the 6'1", freshman, number 30. Daryl Bagwell, the 6'2", senior, number 23. And the nation's leading rebounder, Tahim Monroe, the 6'7", senior, number 5. And on the other side for your Marywood Pacers, the Pacers, well, they're rolling out the same starting lineup they have in every game this year. Donovan Catchings, the 5'9", freshman, is out there with Tip Swartz, the 6'5", junior, number 3. James Curley, the 6'2", senior, number 32. Kendall Farrell, the 6'4", senior, number 12. And Jeremy Ringland, the 6'8", junior, number 33. I'll tell you what, though, Ringland will have himself a tough test with the big man in Monroe. Monroe doesn't have much body size on him, but Ringland's got about 1.5 inches or so. And it should be a very interesting battle to see, with Monroe averaging a hair over 17 rebounds a game. And we are just about set to go at center court. And the Cavs win the tip. And a missed shot. The rebound pulled down by Jeremy Ringland. Curley with it in the corner. Swartz, the drive, the floater is good. So they get it up to Trey Smith, who finds Tahim Monroe. Monroe for 3, that is good. Tahim Monroe is on the board for the Cavs as they have a 3-2 lead. Ringland tries to answer with a 3 of his own, and he's got it. How about that? The big men from both teams getting up there with 3-pointers. DJ Smith in the corner. That shot was no good. Catchings with the board. Into Ringland. They find Curley. Back into Ringland, backing down on Monroe. Curley, the shot for 3, no good. Monroe pulls down the board. Pass up to DJ Smith. He finds Bagwell. Bagwell drives on Farrell into the corner. Shot for 3 is good. That's Trey Smith for 3. And it's a 6-5 ball game. Swartz gives it off to Curley, who finds Ringland. Ringland for 3, no good. And the ball went out of bounds. So Cabrini will get it back.
Pacers put on what appears to be a 2-2-1 press. Inside to Trey Smith, and he blows the layup, but Cabrini will keep it. Much larger crowd tonight as we are started. Everybody's back to school for the second semester, so we have a lot of students on hand tonight. Monroe inside, he misses. Ringland with the board. That will most certainly be the matchup to watch tonight between Ringland and Monroe. But Ringland hobbled by an ankle injury he suffered in the Immaculata game. Will have to play, and he's not at 100%. He did say he feels good, but he clearly is not 100% as he's not moving around as well as he normally does. And that was Schwartz. And did they give him a three? And it was a three from Schwartz. Monroe with a three of his own, and he answers back. Catchings gets a screen from Ringland. Schwartz in the corner. Shot for three, no good. Ringland the board. And the bucket is good. Ringland with the lay-in.
Nice job, Jeremy. Good job, Kenny.
Monroe with it. In the corner to Bazingale. Shot no good. And a walk is called on Bagwell. And a timeout will be taken early on by the Pacers. So a fast start thus far for both teams. Pacers shooting 4 of 7 out of the gate. Cabrini 3 of 8. And we are just about ready to get set back to the action. Now, if you missed our last telecast, and if you did, I don't know where you've been, because the Pacers had a huge comeback against Keystone College. They came back from 24 points down to win on a last-second shot by Tip Schwartz, as that shot is blocked by Monroe. Bagwell brings it up the court, flying up the court. Lasingale for three. His shot is good. 12-10 Cabrini. But that game was a tremendous play game in the second half by the Pacers. I asked some of the players what was said in the locker room, and I know Coach Mastriani said they challenged the team. And I tell you what, one player in particular told me, as Jeremy Ringland with the two-handed flush gets the Pacers faithful on their feet. But anyway, they were saying that a lot of yelling was going on in the locker room in order to try to tell themselves they're a better team than Keystone. And boy, did they come out playing hard in the second half as they came back and won that game. But this is a very important game for the Pacers. These two teams were relatively evenly matched in the first half of the first game. But Cabrini wound up winning that one as Schwartz misses that shot. Rebound pulled down by Bagwell. Cabrini wound up winning that game by a score of 93-66. Shot for three is good by Trey Smith. Kendall Farrell for three, and that is good. Kendall Farrell extending his range. A wide open Blasingale for three, that is good. And Cabrini gets it to 18-15 as they retake the lead. A lot of ties early on here. Both teams pretty evenly matched thus far. Curley tried to save it, but it's into the hands of Bagwell. Monroe on Schwartz, shot no good, rebound by Farrell. Schwartz, the fadeaway, no good, out of bounds.
Hey, back five, back, Rich. Hey, back up.
Bagwell finds Blasingale, gives it back to Bagwell. And Mike Doyle is just into the game. The 6'2 junior, number 10. That shot no good, rebound pulled down by Curley. Jack DeGroot is also into the game for the Pacers. The 6-foot freshman, number 21, along with Adam Busada, the 6'4 freshman, number 24. DeGroot inside to Schwartz, 7 to shoot. Busada from the elbow is good. Monroe drives, kicks it out to the corner. Doyle finds Bagwell. Bagwell with the dribble drive. The fadeaway is good. Darryl Bagwell with the nice little fadeaway. And he's on the board. DeGroot finds Schwartz. Over to Busada in the corner. 10 to shoot. Curley gives it to Schwartz. Schwartz gets a screen from Busada. Catchings with the floater, no good. And a fight for the ball on the floor and a foul on DeGroot. As the foul is on DeGroot. Anthony Wright Downing was who the foul was against. The 6'2 junior, number 1, had checked in. And here comes Joey Monahan, the 6'4 freshman, number 22. Blasingale finds Doyle. Bagwell, drive. Kick out to Blasingale for 3. That is good. Blasingale this year a very solid three-point shooter, shooting at 36% from beyond the arc. Catchings to Tommy DiFilippo, who is just into the game, who also just celebrated his 20th birthday a couple of days ago, and the ball went out of bounds off the deflection after the block.
No, back, Rich. Top right here. Tap right here,
DJ Smith and Trey Smith back into the game. Monroe guarded by Busada. Monroe the drive and the hoop and the harm. Foul on Busada. And Monroe will go to the charity stripe for one more. Monroe, although he is a terrific scorer, he's not the best free throw shooter, only shooting at 60%. But he makes that one. And the Cavs have opened up a 9-point advantage. Catchings drives, finds Busada. Busada's shot is good off the glass. Doyle hustling up the floor. Monroe with it. Finds Doyle in the corner. Monroe finds Trey Smith. Pass inside to Doyle, and the shot is good. Nice little pass there by Trey Smith to Mike Doyle for the basket. And that pass is stolen away. And the two-handed flush by D'Anthony Wright Downing. Get up there, big fella. And look, I got it on the action. The ball came right to me. But we have a timeout called by the Pacers. A rough stretch as Cabrini has gone on a nice little run. I tell you what, the crowd for tonight's game is a lot bigger. I know we have some big crowds when we're in session in school, but tonight is no exception. I see a very nice crowd on hand of supporters for the Pacers men. I'm sure we'll get a shot of that, if not now, later, but you will see that eventually. It's not so much on the side behind me, it's the right below our game cam. You can see it. It kind of stinks because where everybody is, you can't exactly get a camera up there right now. Oh, wait, there we go. Nice thank you to our camera person over there. You can see the nice crowd over here, mostly towards the right sides of the stands, but a very nice crowd on hand nonetheless. Tone Cockrell has checked in, and we mentioned him in the Who's in the Spotlight segment before the game. The 5'9" freshman, number 13. Kendall Farrell's back in along with Curley, Ringland, and Swartz all out there for the Pacers. Swartz guarded by Monroe. And a foul inside. That's going to be on Doyle. And Taim Monroe will get a break. As Daryl Bagwell checks back in. Curley finds Ringland with a real mismatch right now. A 6-inch height advantage over Bagwell. Cockrell gives it off to Swartz. Swartz for three is good. Tip Swartz has been the team's leading scorer this year, and why not? He's played tremendous all year long. Bagwell's shot, it comes up short. Farrell comes down with the board, and Cockrell will bring it up. Into Ringland. Curley hesitating inside to Ringland, backing down on Bagwell. Shot comes up short. Bagwell with the board. Trey Smith for three, that's short. Rebound corralled by Curley. Curley wide open for three, no good. And Farrell was the last to touch it. So Cabrini will get it back. And Monroe and Blasingale have checked back in for the Cavs. Blasingale, long three is good. Blasingale made that one from way downtown. Cockrell running the point. Ringland. Back to Cockrell. Curley with the drive, no good. Monroe with the board. They get it up to Bagwell. And Monroe inside. Shot off the glass is good. 13-point lead for Cabrini. Cabrini also, as I mentioned in the open, did get votes and consideration for the top 25. And that's not just in the region, that's in the country. Curley for three, it's no good. Rebound pulled down by Monroe. The drive, and he's fouled. So Wright Downing will head to the line for two. Foul was on Curley. Wright Downing, a solid free throw shooter, 78%. And the first one is no good. Catchings comes back in as Cockrell takes a seat. And Wright Downing goes 0 of 2. And Wright Downing may actually be hurt. Schwartz knocks down the three. And he is hurt. He may have rolled his ankle as he is favoring his left ankle. So he will head to the bench and be checked out by the trainer. The drive by Bagwell, and stolen away by Curley, and he will be fouled by DJ Smith. So Doyle came in for Wright Downing. Catchings gets a screen from Ringland. Schwartz, cross court for Catchings. The drive finds Schwartz wide open for three, and it is good. 14 points early on for Tip Schwartz. And the lead is down to just 7. Another long three is in and out. And in and out of the hands of Schwartz, but it was knocked out of bounds by Doyle. So the Pacers will get it back. And a good screen there by Farrell. And the alley-oop, no good, but Ringland hasn't stripped, but he's fouled. Didn't look like Ringland was going to get the dunk there, but an alley-oop lay-in would have been a terrific play. But the Pacers keep it nonetheless.
Set a good one. Got it.
Swartz. Pass tipped into the air. Tipped around a little bit. Swartz ends up with it.
Yeah.
Ringland with a nice behind-the-back move, but it's out of bounds. Great effort by Monroe to keep it.
Hey, good shot. Let's go. Come on.
But the Pacers get it back.
Don't need to rush. Let's go. We got time.
Into Ringland. Ringland over Monroe, in and out. Curley with the rebound and the foul. So Curley will go to the line. He's a 78% free throw shooter. And he will shoot 2 to try to cut the deficit to 5. First one is good. And Curley goes 2 of 2. And the lead is down to 5. And Swartz was going for the ball. Great hustle to get after it. And a foul by Farrell on Trey Smith. So he will go to the line for 2. First free throw good. Smith an 89% free throw shooter on the year. In and out. He goes 1 of 2.
2. Come on, Ken.
Catchings gets a screen from Ringland. Farrell was looking for Ringland, couldn't find him. Curley drives. Shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Trey Smith. Doyle bringing it the other way, guarded by Farrell. Over to Blasingale. And he lost the ball. Curley comes up with it. And Swartz will bring it up.
3. Come on, James.
Catchings was looking for Ringland but couldn't get him as Monroe comes up with the steal. They bring it the other way. Doyle with it at the top of the key. Inside to Monroe. Turnaround floater, no good. Swartz gets a screen from Ringland. Guarded by Monroe. Foul inside to Ringland. And the up and under is good. And a timeout taken by Cabrini. Great run by the Pacers to cut the deficit to 4. And they are right back in this game with just under 3 minutes to play here in the first half. And there's another nice look at the crowd. If you can see it in the middle left corner of your screen, that's actually the women's basketball team, a couple of members of that team. They're having a good time, enjoying the game, cheering on their favorite Pacer basketball team. That isn't them. But I'll tell you what, the Pacers women have been on a run of their own. They've won 6 in a row. And last night, their head coach, Tara Machako, picked up her 200th career victory. in the win over Centenary. So congratulations to Coach Machaco. She is also just the third coach in CSAC history to achieve that milestone. And the women will play right here against Cabrini tomorrow night. Pardon me, that's on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. These two games were supposed to take place tomorrow, but due to a planned power outage of the building, they moved today's game up and the women's game to Sunday. So Monroe shoots from the corner, shot no good. Catchings with the rebound, 2.5 to play in the first half. Into Ringland, and he's fouled. And Anthony Wright Downing will check back in. It looks like he's okay after heading to the bench earlier with an ankle injury. Schwartz, the double clutch, no good. And it will go back to the Cavs. Monroe gives it off. Blasingale with it. Doyle with it now. Into Monroe on Ringland. The fadeaway. In and out. Last touch by the Pacers. And they don't like it. Coach Mastriani pleading his case. But it looks like it'll stay right here with the Cavs. Into Doyle. Monroe, guarded by Ringland. The spin move, they find Trey Smith. Smith for three, in and out, Curley with the board. Catchings, dribbles through traffic. Finds Schwartz in the corner, up to Farrell. Back to Schwartz, into Ringland. Ringland, shot no good. Monroe brings it the other way off the board. Doyle, Ringland steps up. The drive by Blasingale, he's stripped away. Farrell has it, Pacers have numbers. They find Ringland, back to Farrell, shot rejected. They get it up to Monroe, and Monroe is fouled by Catchings, who may have saved the dunk. A minute 7 to play, 36-32 the score. Foul was on Catchings. Monroe once again just a 60% free throw shooter. And it's in and out. And Monroe goes 1 of 2, so it's a 5-point game. We're under a minute to play. Schwartz controls it. They get it over to Catchings, inside to Ringland. Backing down on Monroe. Loses it, stolen away by Blasingale. Wright Downing's lay-in is good. And the Pacers get it back. Shot clock and game clock separated by about 9 seconds. Catchings finds Schwartz. We're under 30 seconds left in the first. Schwartz, the long tray, no good. Foul with the board, rejected by Monroe. Pacers will keep it. Farrell for three in the corner, no good. Monroe with the board, shot clock is off. That's 7 rebounds already for Monroe and 12 points. 5 seconds. Monroe will take a 3 to beat the buzzer, and it's good! How about that? Taim Monroe to beat the buzzer. So Cabrini will carry a 10-point lead into the half. A great shot by Monroe to force the lead to 10. So when we come back, we will have our first half recap along with stats when Pacer basketball returns on TVM.
Let's move.
And welcome back to the Insulaco Arena as we are just about set for the start of the second half. But first, let's take a look at our first half stats. And it was a pretty solid first half played on both sides. The two teams are relatively evenly matched. Granted, it is a 10-point deficit for the Pacers. 42-32, Cabrini leads. Pacers are shooting 36% from the floor as opposed to 48% for the Cavs. Cavs shooting 60% from beyond the arc. Pacers 46%. Pacers just 2 of 2 shooting free throws. And Cabrini 3 of 7, so a very lackluster performance thus far from the line. 11 assists for Cabrini to the Pacers 10. The Pacers do lead in the rebound department 20-19. Cabrini has 5 steals to the Pacers 3, along with 3 blocks for Cabrini, 1 for the Pacers, and only 5 turnovers for Cabrini thus far. And there we get a look at the CSAC standings to this point. And you have the two teams highlighted there in Cabrini and the Pacers. Cabrini at the top of the conference, 8-1, 13-2 overall. Gwinnett is currently second at 7-1, 12-2 overall. Then followed by Newman and Rosemont, both at 6-3. And a few more spots down are the Pacers at 4-5 in conference, though they are 9-6 overall. That 4-5 conference record could hurt them, but 6 teams make the CSAC playoffs, and this the final year the Pacers will be competing in the Colonial States Athletic Conference, as it has been announced that the Pacers, along with 4 other CSAC schools, will be moving to a brand new conference called the Atlantic East Conference, which will be set to debut in the fall of 2018. So here we are, back to the action as the Pacers will control it. And here we go. The Pacers in the home gray move left to right, and Cabrini in the road blue move right to left. Pass inside to Schwartz. Double clutches, and it's good. So let's set the floor. The starters are out there for the Pacers, as well as the starters for Cabrini. So both teams rolling with their respective starting 5s to start the second half. Catchings gets a screen from Ringland. Pass inside to Ringland, stolen away by Bagwell. The Cavs bring it the other way. Monroe with the drive, and he loses the basketball, and it will be a kicked ball off Monroe, and the Pacers get it back.
Let's go.
So the largest lead of the night for Cabrini came when it was 35-22 at the 6:47 mark of the first half. They led by 10 at the half. They currently lead by 8. They've led for just over 80% of the game. Schwartz drives. The left-handed floater is good. Nice job there by Schwartz to go to the left hand.
Let's go, lock up.
Bagwell, the free throw line jumper, no good. Rebound pulled down by Curley. And a drive and a lay-in by Catchings. And a timeout taken by Cabrini. So we've been talking a lot about Taheem Monroe. He is in his senior year. He is leading the nation in rebounds. And not only that, he is on pace for yet another double-double as he is in TVM's double-double watch. And there he is, Taheem Monroe, 15 points and 7 rebounds on the night thus far. So Monroe will get it in, and Cabrini will bring it up the court. 4-point game as the Pacers have come out of the half on fire. And Monroe gets that one to go as he's got 17.
Let's go.
So it's back to a 6-point lead. They go cross court. They must really love me today because that ball came right back in to the scorer's area. That's the second time tonight I've gotten the ball, and that's the second time all year it's happened. But that shot for 3 is off. Monroe with the board. That's 8. So he's 2 away from a double-double. The drive by Bagwell kicks it out to Trey Smith. Pass inside into the hands of Ringland, stolen away. Ringland drives on Monroe, finds Curley in the corner for 3. It is good, and it is a 3-point game.
Let's go, White. Let's go.
You gotta love the resiliency by the Pacers lately as Trey Smith gets the lay-in, but they came back from 24 points down to beat Keystone right here at home. Keystone right now ranks 5th in the conference, and now they're playing the top team in the conference thus far, as Ringland from the elbow is no good. But they really need this if they want to stay in the hunt for that 6th and final playoff spot. Monroe guarded by Ringland. The drive, and the floater is no good. Bagwell with the board, and the ball bounces around. Bagwell corrals it. Farrell was on defense, made a nice play, but a foul will be called on Swartz.
Got a battle now. Let's go.
So again, Monroe, a 60% free throw shooter, is at the line for 2. And the first one is short. So Kendall Farrell will take a seat as Adam Busada checks back in. Monroe at the line, and his second free throw is good. Monroe, by the way, is also tied for 29th in the nation in scoring at just shy of 23 points a game. Ringland in and out. Unlucky that time by Ringland. And the hoop and the harm. Trey Smith with the bucket. And he will go to the line for one more. And he is an 89% free throw shooter. And it's no good.
Go Texas, Texas. Attack the gap.
Swartz into Busada. Busada had it, lost it. They find Swartz in the corner for three. It is good. 21 points for Tip Swartz. And a nice spinorama by Bagwell. He's got 4. And Cabrini leads once again by 7. Curley wide open for 3. In and out. Into the hands of DJ Smith. Bagwell, the pass for Lathingale, but they find Bagwell again. 6 points for Bagwell, and the lead is back to 9. Catchings into Ringland. Into Busada. Wide open layup is good. So Bagwell will bring it up. Drives on Swartz, and he gets the lay-in. Looked like Bagwell wanted a foul to be called, but he gets the bucket. And the Cavs lead again, and the alley-oop! How about that? Swartz to Ringland. What a play! That's something you're not going to see every night. Monroe for 3, he can't answer. Swartz with the board. And I think Catchings was trying for that one, but the pass was a little too tall for the very tall Jeremy Ringland, and he will take a seat and get a well-deserved break, as he is into double figures at 11 points.
Hey. We're great. Now you, Ken. Stay at home, Ken. Good, James.
Doyle,
No drive.
guarded by Curley.
No drive.
Bagwell into the corner to Monroe. Monroe drives. Shot no good. Busada into the hands of Monroe. Bagwell for 3, no good. And it bounces around on the floor. Who has it? And Cabrini comes down with it and a hard foul. The foul's on Catchings.
You fouled him? Wait, Kevin, who's the foul on? He called it on 2. He wasn't even.
And the foul was called on Catchings, but
On him?
Coach Mastriani is pleading his case because it did not look like it was on Catchings. And it looks like the referees are going to confer here.
Him?
And they do agree that it is on Catchings. Catchings usually not one to get in all that much foul trouble, so it shouldn't be that big a deal.
Go get it, Don.
Curley with the lay-in is no good. It was no good on the finger roll. They're going to bring it the other way. Doyle intercepted by Curley. Swartz, the pull-up jumper is good. And a timeout is taken by the Pacers. So I want to create a picture in your minds. and take you back to the alley-oop from Swartz to Ringland. And my, what a great play it was. It looked like Catchings had been looking for Ringland on a similar play in the first half, but they couldn't connect. But they were able to connect here in the second half, Swartz and Ringland were. And it was a tremendous play, one that I'm sure we're not going to see all that many times.
Let's go, D. Come on, D. Yo, hey, fight. Fight. Let's go. Be big, be big. Talk.
Pass inside to Monroe, who's got it. So the Pacers have been resilient all night. They've stayed in this game. Curley, pass inside to Ringland. The fadeaway is no good. Monroe with the board. Doyle, shot no good. Rebound by Ringland. Swartz brings it the other way. The hesitation and the lane is good. Great job on the dribble drive by Swartz. And he got his man with the hesitation.
Declare the ball.
Bagwell guarded by Farrell, finds Doyle. Inside to Monroe. Monroe shot in and out. Rebound pulled down by Bagwell. And it rolls around the rim, but he's got the bucket. But Taim Monroe has hit 20 points and 11 rebounds, so he has himself a double-double. Farrell with the nice little floater over Monroe. Monroe has about 3 inches on Farrell, but he got that one to go. So the Pacers are keeping it competitive as it's a 5-point ball game. And Farrell with the steal. Catchings brings it the other way, flying up the court. Shot no good. And Curley couldn't get the putback as it was tipped by Cabrini. Into Swartz. Curley in the corner for 3, in and out. Rebound pulled down by Blasingale. Doyle into Monroe. And the nice little pass inside to Wright Downing. And the shot is good. And a timeout will be taken by Cabrini. So we are just under 10 minutes to play in this one. But don't worry, even after this game's over, we'll still have more basketball for you coming up on Sunday as the Pacers women will take on Cabrini University. They are also the CSAC's top team at 7-0, 14-2 overall. The Pacers will have won 6 in a row, and they have moved into a virtual tie for second in the CSAC standings. So that will be a great matchup to watch. So don't forget to tune into that one Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock right here on TV-Marywood. You can get a look there inside the Pacers huddle. I'm sure Coach Mastriani is pleased with the way his team came out of the half. But they're still down by 7. This is a resilient bunch over there. And it's going to take a lot more than a 13-2 Cabrini team to knock them off. By the way, Cabrini's lone CSAC loss came to Gwinnett Mercy on December 9th in overtime. They lost that game at Gwinnett. Gwinnett currently the number 2 team in the conference. Jack DeGroot is checked in for the Pacers. And a pass. Fight for the ball on the floor. Ringland comes out of the pile with it, and he gets the bucket.
Talk!
13 points for Jeremy Ringland. Shot for 3, no good. Monroe, the rebound, no good. And where's the ball? It's in the air. Foul comes down with it, and he gets it over to Swartz. Catchings will control it, gives it off to Swartz. Swartz and Ringland, both the Pacers in double figures. Swartz, that shot comes up short. Tip Swartz, though, with a game-high 26 points. Another tremendous performance from him.
Gotta call it.
Right down and thought about a 3, but thought better of it. Bagwell. That's a 3. Catchings finds Swartz. Gets a screen from Ringland, gives it off to DeGroot. DeGroot, the shot for 3, in and out. Rebound pulled down by Anthony Wright Downing. They find Doyle up the court. Guarded by Swartz.
See the ball?
Monroe guarded by Ringland. Backing down on Ringland. And he gets the friendly bounce. Catchings. Shot rejected by Wright Downing. The Cavs bring it the other way. Doyle for 3. That's good. And Cabrini has matched their largest lead of the night. And Wright Downing is charged with the foul. As he will take a seat. And Trey and DJ Smith check back in along with Adam Busada for the Pacers. Swartz, the drive, shot rejected by Bagwell. DJ Smith for 3, in and out. Rebound pulled down by Busada. Catchings will bring it up. Swartz into Ringland. Guarded by Bagwell, shot good! And the foul! So Ringland now with 15 points, and he will have a shot for 1 more at the line. Ringland shooting 79% from the line, and he makes his free throw. Here's DJ Smith, Tommy DiFilippo back into the game. And Catchings will be charged with the foul.
Kevin, you gotta call the hook. You gotta call the hook. Talk!
And a foul that time. It looks like it's going to be charged to DeGroot. An off-ball foul. They get it in. Monroe gets it back. Heath lines Blasingale for three. That is good. Keith Blasingale with 15. Ringland got Monroe in the air. Shot from the elbow, no good. Blasingale with the board. Trey Smith dribbles through traffic into Monroe with the lane is good. Ringland with a nice little up and under. DJ Smith guarded by Busada, and an errant pass, and it will go the other way as the Pacers get it back. DiFilippo and DeGroot take a seat. Curley and Swartz back in. Catchings controls it at the top. Finds Swartz. Swartz drives, finds Curley. Curley, long. Rebound pulled down by Monroe. DJ Smith, that's a three, no good. Curley with the board. Ringland at the top of the key, finds Curley. Back to Ringland. 10 to shoot, Catchings. Over to Swartz for three, that's short. Swartz gets his own rebound, gets Bagwell in the air, but he is fouled, and he will go to the line for two. So Swartz is a 92% free throw shooter this year, 46 of 50. First one good from Swartz. And Kendall Farrell will come in. Usada takes a seat. Swartz will have one more. And Swartz goes 2 of 2. And he's got 28. Trey Smith finds Blasingale. Monroe over to Wright Downing. He drives on Farrell and gets the bucket. Ringland takes a three and it's good. And it is a 10-point game, and a timeout will be taken by the Pacers. So the Pacers came out hot here in the second half. They've played well in the second half, but Cabrini still has the edge by 10 as they are shooting 50% from the floor to the Pacers' 43%. Cabrini has the edge in the rebound department, 39-30. And Cabrini led by as many as 15 That came at the 5:41 mark here in the second half. Cabrini has turned the ball over 10 times to the Pacers, 8. And the Pacers have converted 11 points off turnovers. Right down and controls it over to Blasingale. Blasingale, a long three, and it is good. (80-67) the score in favor of the Cavaliers. Schwartz finds Curley, who keeps it in front of half court. 10 to shoot. Schwartz, the pull-up three, no good. And right Downing corrals the rebound. Blasingale, another deep three. In and out, Schwartz with the board. Curley, the shot for three, no good. Rebound pulled down by Monroe. That's 15 rebounds for Monroe to go along with 24 points.
Watch it again, here it comes.
And Ringland knocks it out of bounds.
Take it, Ken.
The give to Wright Downing. 5 to shoot. Blasingale gives it over to Wright Downing. Over Ringland, no good. And it's off a Cabrini defender, and it will go back to the Pacers. We've got a minute 53 to play in regulation. 13-point game, but it's still 2 minutes left. Anything can happen, as Ringland with the turnaround floater is good. 80-69 the score. Cabrini leads it. Monroe lost it. It looked like it was last touched by Monroe. Coach Mastriani very upset. And rightly so, as it did appear that it was last touched by Monroe.
He threw it right out of bounds.
82-69 the score. Farrell drives on Monroe, backing down. Monroe with the block. Farrell comes back with it. Gets the hoop and the harm. So Farrell will go to the line for one more with 54.6 to play. And that is the fifth foul for Darrell Bagwell, and he is fouled out. He finishes the night with 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. And Farrell makes his free throw. And Coach Mastriani gets himself a timeout. So with 54 seconds left, Pacers trailing by 10. They would need a lot to go their way in the final 50 seconds of this game. And Ringland will foul Monroe. So Monroe will go to the line.
Got a rebound, let's go.
That's only the first foul on Ringland tonight.
Communicate, who's got shooter?
Monroe makes his first. And he goes 2 of 2.
Let's go, release.
Catchings finds Swartz. And last touch by Cabrini. They get it into Farrell. Swartz comes up with it, and he's got the bucket. That's 30 points for Tip Swartz. A tremendous effort by him tonight. Farrell picks up the foul. A couple of free throws here by Trey Smith could put the nail in the coffin for the Pacers tonight.
One and one, got to block out.
Trey Smith is an 89% free throw shooter. He will shoot 1 and 1. And it's in and out. Monroe with the board, and he is fouled.
Let's get it again. Let's go. Go, White. Got to be ours.
Monroe only 60% from the line. Made 2 of 2 last time. And he makes his first. And Monroe goes 2 of 2 again.
Let's go down. Let's go down. Tip you
He's
down.
got 27. That should all but do it. Curley finds Swartz. Swartz drives. The floater is good. 15 seconds left. They get it into Smith. And Ringland's going to foul him with 11 seconds left. So these free throws aren't going to mean much, as it will only affect the final score. And Trey Smith misses his first.
Kenny, Jeremy's got to be ours. Let's go. Tip, tip. Go.
And Smith goes 1 of 2. 11-point game into Catchings. Catchings finds Swartz, and he's fouled. 6.5 to go. Stolen away, and that will do it. So Cabrini University defeats Marywood 87-76. A tremendous game by Taheem Monroe, 28 points and 17 rebounds. Tip Swartz for the Pacers also with 30 points and 6 rebounds. Jeremy Ringland with 25 points and 6 rebounds. Tremendous efforts by those two for the Pacers, but it was all for naught as they fall by 11 to Cabrini. So it was a great game all around. The Pacers finished shooting 44% from the field, which is a very respectable number considering where they started the game early on, and 49% for Cabrini. Cabrini out-rebounded the Pacers by 10 and shot 50% from beyond the arc. So that's going to do it for our coverage here from the Insulaco Arena. Don't forget, tune in on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock for the women's game against Cabrini. So that's going to do it for our director, Bethany Wade, and all of our amazing crew. I'm Brendan Murphy saying goodnight from the Insulaco Arena. Once again, the final score, Cabrini defeats Marywood 87-76. Have a good weekend, everybody.